everyone, and happy Monday, the second Monday of September already. Wow. Anyway, we have quite a detailed page today, which is from World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. I'm having a little look at it as I talk. This section here in the centre is the same as this section here, as far as I can tell, but this one is turned around. I'm seeing if we've got any more. That bit there looks, no, it's not. So those two are the same. This bit here looks like it might be a bit like, yeah, it's a bit of this one turned around the other way. So there's a few similarities. There are different ways we could approach this page. We could do all the green the same, all the flower centres the same, and then do all the flowers in different shades of a particular colour. We could do a big mishmash of different colours, make it really bright and colourful. We could do each little section in a different colour group, so you know, a red, a purple, a blue, whatever. There are lots of different ways. I'm not really sure about how to approach this, to be honest, which is why I'm talking to you and not actually getting on with it. I am going to come in a tad closer. I think I'm using my Polychromos, by the way, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour all my green in the same way, and then I'm going to work from there. So because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the rest of the page, I want to use a sort of neutral green, if that makes sense, something I think that will match any other colours that I pick. So I'm going to start with my leaf green. I think this is quite a neutral green. I'm going to sharpen it, and I'm going to go through all of the groups here and do all the stems, and we'll come in a bit closer. I'll move around a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I think if I do a section like that, so looking through here, finding the stem like that, and then just doing a little bit of the flower and fading off like that, and then I'm going to use a lighter green to do the tip of my flower, but I want all my stems to be the same. Now what I've noticed here is these leaves aren't actually attached to this stem. If that bothers you, then draw in a little stem. I am more concerned about my lack of drawing skills than I am about the fact that it's not joined, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm just going to work around all the leaves. Now whether I decide to do lots of colour throughout the page, whether I decide to do lots of shades of the same colour, or whether I decide to do each little batch in a different colour, having my leaves in the same colours as each other will draw it all together, whatever I decide. So that's why I thought I would do this first. So where are we at next? We'll move across to this one, which looks a bit like that on it, isn't there? Some of these leaves are so teeny tiny, I'm just going to block them in like that. And just working round, really. Now I have had someone, I can't remember who, say to me how difficult and complicated this page was. Now for me it isn't as complex as some pages. I think it's because I like colouring leaves and flowers, whereas some of the pages where we've had to colour lots of sort of household objects, that's more daunting to me really, because I don't find those as fun to colour personally. Obviously it's all a personal opinion at the end of the day. Now can we see all of that? Yeah, so we'll do all of this one. But so I'm just, as you know, breaking it down, so doing leaves first, and then I'll think about the florals after. There's also, you know, the thought of a background. Now I think because we've got so many details going on, I think a background's going to just overcomplicate the page more. We've got these dots though, we can do something with those. Whether we colour it in a pencil or whether we use a sort of metallic or a glitter pen or a, you know, a sparkly gel pen, something like that. Or whether we just use some of the colours that we use for that particular group of flowers. You know, there are lots of options for those as well. I hope I'm not overcomplicating it by giving you lots of options. I'm just pointing out to you the different things that you could do with the page. and obviously there are a lot more options that I haven't thought of or said, but if you you can just stick with what I'm doing, whatever it is that's going to be. I will think of something. I did have an idea earlier and I think I might stick with it, but I'm not going to let you know what it is quite yet until I've completely decided. Go. Yeah, there's a lot of leaves that aren't joined to and even these flowers aren't joined to a stem, so I think we just go with it really. I think that might be a leaf there. This is a leaf, isn't it? Yeah, so I think we'll probably just stick with it, stick with the leaving them not joined. But if it really bothers you, then you can draw in a stem in black pen, or you can, let's go up, let's do this little one next, or you can, you know, draw it in with your green pencil or whatever, you know, if it's really bothering you. But I think it's just part of the design of this particular page. It makes it a little bit different, which is nice. And I rather enjoy this sort of wallpaper images, but I know some people find them quite taxing, and this is just a small bit of one, you know. Now this one's really big. I think I've got it all. No. Just a tad, there we go. I want to get it all in shot. Now this looks almost like a stick, this stem, so you could do it in a sort of brown stick colour, but I think it looks prettier in green. Brown isn't a particularly pretty colour. If you like brown, you do brown, but I'm just going to stick with my green. I'm going to sharpen it a bit more. If you don't have the Polychromos, I do have some comparison charts on my Ko-fi, so you can go and have a look and find out the equivalent colours. But really, you just want 2 shades of green that are similar to this, sort of mid-green, permanent green, grass green, that sort of thing. If you're doing Prismas, you probably go for an apple green maybe. I don't know what you'd use for your lighter one though. And just, you know, pick something a little bit lighter for the tips of our leaves when we get there. So you just want 2 shades really. Where are we going? Over here. So I'm just trying to fade it towards the tip. I hope everyone's good today. Monday mornings aren't always the best mornings, are they? In our household, it's okay at the moment, because husband only works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Monday mornings feel rather like a Sunday in a way. Don't have to get up, although I tend to at times, it depends. Yeah, it can be quite nice, but once the boys start at uni, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be good if they were only at uni on the days that he was at work, and then we all had long weekends still? But the chances of that are tiny. My one son last year only had to go in 2 days a week, and he did 2 full packed days and then had, you know, the rest of the time at home. My other son was in, I think, 3-4 days a week, and he's been told he's having longer, more lessons, so we'll wait and see. The timetables haven't come through yet, so just got to wait and see really. I quite like it when they're in, when my husband, well actually he only started doing 3 days a week once they'd finished, or virtually finished, but I quite like it when they're in when he's at work, because if their train's cancelled he can scoop them up and bring them home. But we'll see. Now they're a bit more used to things, they might be able to hop on a bus instead. One of my, yeah, they've both done buses, so should be able to. We'll see what happens. Once the timetables come out, husband can't change his hours of work. I thought it might be flexible, you know, doing 3 days a week, and he might say, yeah, this week we need you these days, blah blah blah. I mean, it's easier in a way to know which days, but it's actually written into his contract, in his employment contract, which days he does. So I'm gonna assume that's a flower, not a leaf, cluster, and it'll be prettier if we can do it in a sort of flower colour anyway, rather than a green. I mean, it's not loads of green anyway, but a fair bit. So we'll hope to do it as a flower. If I looked at the proper page, you know, the full page, I might spot it, what it was, but I'll just make a guess. I'm not worried about that. I have an idea in my head coming to me how to do this page. Now notice I'm ignoring this sort of detailing on the leaves. I can't be fiddling around with that when it's such a little picture. I'm trying to find these because I'm sure I've seen them somewhere else. There they are. To work out whether this is a leaf or a flower. This is a leaf. There we go. It was up here at the top, this one up here that you can't see me pointing at. Ooh. It's sunny again today. It's supposed to be having this sort of heat wave, but yesterday when we went out, it was warmish, but it was also muggy, and then it rained later and it sort of cleared the air, but I'm not that warm, which is good. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. But I've got the blind shut because the sun is shining, so it's going to create shadows and things on the desk. So it's a bit of but that's okay. But we'll see. I wasn't planning on necessarily going out today, but I might pop out for a little walk at some point. But I was trying to concentrate on getting washing done this morning. It's so exciting. And other bits and pieces, reading my meter, electric and gas meters. Actually, I did it yesterday, and I asked my son to note them down and send me the numbers, which he did, but then I forgot to actually submit them to the energy company. But I did that this morning and had to email them about something. So could do with phoning the doctors, really. Now this one, what's this? We've got the same pattern going on up here. So I'm looking for this leaf, which is here. I don't know if it's in shot. Next to it is another leaf, so this is definitely a little set of leaves there. This is quite useful, the repeating pattern in a way, because it helps me identify, but otherwise you can just make a guess. You don't have to, excuse me, do it exactly how Johanna's planned. Oh, I've got hiccups. Ooh, always good on a video. My son said he had hiccups on his live stream, which I mean, if this continues, I'll pause until they go away, but I think it was just a one or two off. Yeah, so he got hiccups on his live stream, so and then he was sneezing. He said sneezing is quite bad because it's so loud, but I guess if you get a bit of warning, his although people do say he's got a good voice, he's not sort of the same type of video as me, where I'm trying to sort of be calming. He's playing an exciting game, so I assume there's a bit of green there. I think that's all of it, but what I'm going to do is grab my next green. I'm going to use the lightest green, well, the light green, and go back through and finish off all of the greenery. I just start at the bottom corner so I can overlap a little bit what I've done already, and then finish off these tips. My book's making some interesting squeaky noises. I don't know if yours does. It's where the paper brushes on the coil of metal, the ring bind. I don't know what ring binding. And when I colour close to it, it makes a creaking noise. trying to put a few layers on so that it blends in better. This one needs a bit more creak. Of course, you could do the dots surrounding these areas in a green if you want to. That might please you. If green's your favourite colour, then maybe you could just do that. But I think I'm going to wait until the end and just see how the rest looks. I often do that with a picture. If I'm not sure of a certain area and what colour I might do it and how to sort of balance it with the rest of the page sort of thing, then just leave it till last. But the problem is sometimes you don't know that about any of it. You can't leave it all till last. So it just depends. Yeah. So I got some interesting emails today. I've been getting some awards from YouTube, sort of membership rewards, which I think for I don't know if it's for all YouTubers or some. And today I got 4 different things that I could use. One was a voucher for 15% off New Balance trainers, which aren't a brand that I use. I haven't got any trainers at the moment actually, but I'm not going to buy any. I'm not planning on buying any, so I didn't redeem that. Because the vouchers are limited apparently in the amount, so I think, well, I mustn't redeem it if I'm not going to use it. We'll go across here, I think. And a meal for up to £15 or £20, a main meal at Wagamama's, which again I won't use because I don't eat out. There was a free 3-month membership to a mindfulness app, and there's no obligation. You don't have to put your card in or anything like that. You just get the 3 months free, and then after the 3 months you only get the free benefits and not the members benefits type thing. I might sign up for that, have a little look at that, could be quite useful. And then what was the other one? The other one was a free family day or fun day at Gravity. I don't know what that is. I think it sounds like some sort of theme park type thing. It doesn't sound like my sort of thing at all, so I didn't look into that one. But last time I got vouchers, it was a cinema voucher, which I redeemed and gave to my husband because he wanted to see a particular film, and he didn't use it and didn't go to the film. So I shall think twice before doing that again, because that means I may have deprived someone else of a opportunity. But I haven't done these yet, so I'm going to grab my leaf green to do those with. And I also previous offer I got my YouTube lamp, which was cool, and which I like. I don't use it much, but I like looking at it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I dream about when I get my recording studio and it's just mine. I've got all my own stuff in it. I'll put that up on the shelf as a little trophy type thing. But you know, dream on. Yeah, I got a free Greg sausage roll with that, but I redeemed the voucher. I forgot to go and get it. I was really silly. My son wanted it and I forgot. So a bit rubbish. But anyway, that was that. So we'll see what they offer. It's quite nice having these little benefits. I mean, I can see why, like the money off vouchers, it's quite good for the company because they then get you to spend money with them. And free membership for a limited time, you know, if you like it you'll sign up, so it makes sense really to do that. But you know, it's still quite good. I still have a look. You see I'm going right over this just to try and blend it together. And yeah, but talking of was I talking of dream? Did I say something about dreams? I don't know. I had a horrible dream last night. I woke up, I was really scared. I was sweating and it was really scary. I don't know why. I haven't had nightmares for ages. And I was dreamt of like someone was doing some sort of evil magic and summoning some sort of spirit through the wall. Oh, scary. And then yeah, and I woke up scared, but I was really tired and I sort of wanted to go back to sleep, but I didn't, and I didn't want to get out of bed because I was scared. Sometimes what I'll do is if I have a bad dream, I'll just get up and go to the loo, and then it gets my brain back into a sort of sensible mode, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to get out because I was too scared, and ooh, it was a very weird dream. But anyway, as I say, I'm not sure why. I was trying to think about what I ate. I did have potato, like white potato. I don't normally eat that because it's so sort of sugary and used to affect my blood sugar. But I don't think I've got getting low blood sugar at my age. I'm more like to have high, I would have thought. But anyway, I don't know whether it was that. But there wasn't that much. I had other things, as you know, I had wholemeal with it. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, it was a bit freaky. So that was that. But I did still have quite a good sleeper, really. So that was good. My husband was saying he fell asleep at work yesterday. But the night before he hadn't slept at all well. He didn't go to sleep till, did he say 3:30 in the morning? So I was like, well, you only had like 3 hours sleep. It's no wonder you fell asleep, because he thought it was because he forgot his ADHD meds. But I was like, are you sure? It might not have been, you know, that. And he said he thinks that he had a caffeinated drink, which is why he couldn't sleep the night before, because he said, oh, I thought they would know by now that I have decaf. I didn't bother to say. I was like, you must say every time, because he goes to the same coffee shop by his work and knows the staff really well. So he thought, but I'm like, they serve so many people, can't expect them to just especially as it's only been since he's been on his meds that he's cut his caffeine out. So, you know, they're in the habit of giving him caffeine, and most people have caffeinated drinks. So it's like, But it's interesting because he used to have such a high tolerance, and he said it didn't affect his sleep and that sort of thing, and now suddenly he's finding that he can't sleep if he has caffeine. Now let's come back out and have a little look at this page as a whole. What I have decided to do while chattering on is to do all my flower centres the same as well as each other. I'm not going to use just one colour in the centre of the flowers on all of them, but some of them are teeny weeny like these. I'm only going to use the one colour, but some of them like this one I'll use a couple. Okay, so we are going to use 2 yellows. I'll show you what they are, but I'll keep dropping it. This is the light yellow ochre, and this is the Naples yellow. Okay, so you see there's the sort of more browny yellows. I'm going to use both of these, and I'm going to come in close again so you can see what I'm doing, a little bit closer. Anyway, there we go, and let's go. So what I'm going to do is use the darker one, which is the light yellow ochre, and do the base of the centre of the flower with that, and then try and fade it a little bit towards the top. This one's got all sorts of dots on. I'm just going to ignore those completely and just gently fade that up like that, and then do the same. This has got a ring round. I'm going to go over the ring as well and fade it up like that. Okay, now you'll see that this one is teeny tiny, and I'm just going to block them in. I think it's better to do this with the darker colour because it's going to show up a little bit more than the really light, the lighter yellow. I'm going to go all through doing this colour before I pick up my next one. Okay, keep it nice and simple. You might need to sharpen to get into those little gaps. I haven't, but I probably should. those are just a little bit too small, so just going to block those in. Can you see all those? Yeah, I'm just going to sharpen now. So just do these. Now you could do the circles in this colour because they're sort of around and they're similar. I'm going right over here now. They're similar sort of to the centres of the flowers. I'm contemplating that, whether to do them in this colour, but I might prefer to do them in a gold, but I'm still waiting before I make that decision. These leaves here haven't been completed. I'm just going to do a little bit with my green. Yeah, they might have been. It might just be a bit faint. But yours are probably fine, because you aren't me. Let's see, let's move that up now. Can you see all of that? I don't know. I'm going to keep it down a little bit there so you can see. I can hear someone whistling. It's really hot. One of my sons whistles sometimes, but he's upstairs, 2 floors up. Very weird. Never mind. It's probably someone outside. As I say, it's sunny. I thought that, I couldn't work out what that was. It's a petal, isn't it? Oops. Now, how far down are we in shot? Let's go up a little bit so we can see the bottom. There we go. And then over here, I've got a ladybird there. Let's do these little teensy ones here before I forget. There we go. In fact, I can probably go all the way up. Yeah. I'm going to start over here though. Back and forth, up and down. Keep you on your toes. Try not to be confusing. So I've been watching the Paralympics. It was the opening ceremony. I watched a bit of it. I'm not a big fan of opening ceremonies, to be honest. They go on a bit long. I watched the athletes appearing, which was nice. But there were hardly any, like the Team GB, we've got over 200 in our team, and only about, it looked like it was about 30 or 40, if that were on at the opening ceremony. And I think because it's quite tiring, it's a late night, because you think they tend to finish quite late anyway, but also they've then got to get back to the village and wind down and that sort of thing, and also it could be tiring for them in their in the sense they've got to sort of be sort of on their feet, or at least walking or wheeling themselves a lot, so it can be take energy that they want to reserve for their performance. This is Naples Yellow. What I find interesting is that I'm just going to go over the whole centre now, so over what I did before with the light yellow ochre, and then just so it blends in. Yeah, it's interesting that they started in England at Stoke Mandeville Hospital. What they used to do was use sport as a sort of rehab, and the idea to start with was that they could to allow people with various disabilities to just be able to take part in something and to be able to sort of participate. But these days it has grown hugely, and it's now no longer about just taking part. You know, the athletes train as hard as the able-bodied Olympians train. You know, it's a big passion for them. They work very hard. They really want to win. You know, the medals mean a lot to them, etc. So it is a big thing for them. It was a little upsetting that the when it was the Olympic opening ceremony, it was all over the headlines, all over the newspapers, on the front page the following day. But with the Paralympics, there was nothing on the front page of any of the papers, which was sad. Also, the television coverage is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. We used to only get like a little summary program in the evening, but actually it's now on 2 channels, not the main channels, the Olympics on the BBC, but this is on our channel 4. But they're showing it on the 1 channel all day, apart from breaks for news, and then they've got a secondary channel they're also showing it on, so that's rather good. So there is all of our green and yellow. I'm just coming out to show you. Now, I think that looks really nice with white flowers, and you know, I would be really tempted to do a coloured, like a really dark blue background and leave the flowers white, because I think they look pretty. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to colour the flowers in, because I suspect that's what you would like me to do anyway. Little bit not sure about the ladybird. I think actually I'm going to do the ladybird now, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow to do the flowers. So here's our ladybird, and the colour I'm going to choose for our ladybird, I'm going to do a yellow ladybird, because ladybirds aren't always red. So this is our Naples yellow. We're going to do the body part in yellow. I'm only sort of doing it, I'm not putting too much shadow in there. I'm going to actually just use the light yellow ochre. I'm just going to sharpen it. I'm just going to use a little bit around the outside to cast a little bit of a shadow, so around the edge of our ladybird, like that. And then some black for his spots and head. And the reason for that is I'm not going to be using red, so I didn't want a sort of red ladybird sort of standing out. He's going to stand out anyway because he's got black in him, but there he is. So as I said, that is all I'm going to do for today, so I shall come back out for you to see like that. And tomorrow I am going to colour the flowers, so don't worry about that. And I'm not going to do a background. I'm going to let them pop off the page with a white background, but I think I know what colour I'm doing them. I might change my mind before tomorrow, so wait and see. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.